New question, the member for Beaches East York.
Well, thank you, Speaker. My question is for the Minister responsible for early years and childcare. Now, Speaker, I'm very proud that our government is committed to ensuring families have access to quality and affordable childcare in Ontario. And in my own riding of Beaches East York, I have many new and very young families who are starting to call East Toronto home, and they need good local daycare. And I've heard from so many families that there are not enough spaces for childcare and that they can afford. And I want to ensure that we are providing childcare options for these families. And it was partially because of this shortage that I brought in my private member's bill that helped regulate daycare waitlist fees. So, Speaker, can the minister responsible for early years and childcare tell us what this government is doing to make sure that families' needs for new, affordable and safe daycare spaces are being properly met?
Thank you. Minister responsible for early years and childcare.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the hardworking member from Beaches East York for this very important question. He is a strong advocate for his constituents on this issue. Speaker, I have heard about the challenges families across the province face when it comes to finding quality, affordable childcare, and I want to assure the member that our government is working hard every day to help Ontario families find more affordable, quality childcare options. We are taking swift, strong action, and that's why in our 2017 budget we announced an additional $200 million to transform Ontario's childcare system. This investment will help 24,000 more children access quality licensed care across the province. And I'm happy to tell the member from Beaches East York that this investment in Toronto will see an additional $34.5 million going towards childcare in the city. And that brings the total number and amount to $368 million going to the city. This will help 3,880 new licensed childcare spaces for children. Think about that. This funding will change lives.
Well, thank you, Speaker, and thank you to the Minister for that answer and for the tireless work that she is doing on this file. It is very much appreciated by young families across the province. And it's encouraging, Speaker, to know that the government is working to address the needs of Ontario families. But I recognize there's a lot of work to be done, and families are keen to see how the system will be modernized. Many parents are looking for childcare options now, and we know the province has committed and announced 100,000 new spaces, but they're asking, where are these going to go? Now, in my riding of Beaches East York, my office has worked very closely with the ministry and helped facilitate new spaces in my riding, including the Bluebell Academy, the Kingston Road Montessori School, and also Centre 55, which has recently announced an application for 40 new spaces at Ted Reeve Arena. Now, Speaker, would the minister please let us know how the ministry is working to help all these institutions bring new child care spaces online?
Thank you. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to answer the member's question, and it's a question I get asked often. In fact, last year we announced our commitment to give 100,000 more children access to licensed childcare spaces over the next 5 years. It's a historic investment and one that will benefit all Ontarians. As part of this expansion, our government committed a massive $1.6 billion in new capital funding, which will support the creation of 45,000 new spaces in publicly owned buildings across Ontario. And we are well on our way. We've already received proposals for building new childcare spaces in schools, and I'm happy to report that the number of submissions has exceeded expectations. That's amazing. That means childcare spaces will now be coming to many schools all across the province. And I am pleased to say there will be another round next year, and I encourage parents, families and childcare providers to get in contact with their local service managers to see how they can get involved.